They want you to react. They're waiting for it. Every insult, every betrayal, every disrespect, they throw it at you like bait, expecting you to bite, expecting you to explode, expecting you to give them the satisfaction of watching you break. But here's what they don't tell you. Here's the truth that lives in the shadows where most people are too weak to look. Your silence is the sharpest weapon you will ever own. And when you learn to wield it, you don't just win. You torture them with their own minds. Let me be clear. This isn't about being passive. This isn't about rolling over and taking abuse with a smile. This is about understanding a psychological warfare tactic so brutal, so effective, that it turns your enemies into their own destroyers. Silence doesn't mean weakness. Silence means control. And control is the only currency that matters in this game. When someone attacks you with words, they're not just speaking. They're investing. They're investing their ego, their energy, their emotional state into getting a response from you. Think about it. Why does someone insult you? Why do they try to provoke you? Because they need something from you. They need validation. They need to see that they hurt you. They need to confirm that they have power over you. Your reaction is their payoff. Your anger is their victory. Your words back at them, that's the prize they came for. But when you give them nothing, when you meet their venom with absolute, stone, cold silence, you rob them of everything they came for. You leave them empty-handed, and that emptiness, that lack of closure, it eats them alive. Here's how it works. The human brain is wired to seek patterns, responses, cause and effect. We say something, we expect a reaction. It's neurological. It's primal. When that expected reaction doesn't come, the brain goes into overdrive. It starts creating stories. It starts filling in the blanks. And 9 times out of 10, those blanks get filled with the darkest possibilities. Did they not care? Did they not even notice? Are they plotting something worse? Are they above me? Am I irrelevant? Your silence becomes a mirror, and what they see in that mirror is their own inadequacy, their own irrelevance, their own desperation. You didn't have to say a single word. You just withheld the one thing they needed: acknowledgement. And in that void, they torture themselves. People fear what they can't predict. They fear what they can't control. And when you go silent, you become both: unpredictable, uncontrollable, untouchable. They don't know what you're thinking. They don't know what you're planning. They don't know if you're angry, indifferent, or 3 steps ahead of them. And that uncertainty, that's where the psychological damage begins. Let me give you a scenario. Someone disrespects you publicly. Maybe it's at work. Maybe it's in your social circle. Maybe it's online. They say something designed to humiliate you, to make you look small, to provoke a reaction. Now, you have 2 choices. Option 1, you respond. You defend yourself. You clap back. You match their energy. And what happens? You give them exactly what they wanted. You enter the arena. You play their game. And even if you win that exchange, even if you have the better comeback, you've still validated their power to affect you. You've shown them that they can pull your strings. You've made yourself a player in their drama. Option 2, you say nothing. You look at them. Or you don't even look at them. You just continue as if they don't exist, as if their words carried no weight, as if they are invisible. And what happens? Chaos, internal chaos. On the outside, they might try to escalate. They might say more. They might get louder. But inside they're panicking, because nothing they did worked. They fired their best shot, and it landed in a void. And now they're left standing there, exposed. Their insecurity on full display. Their desperation obvious to everyone watching. Silence is not the absence of power. Silence is power. It's the power to withhold, the power to control the narrative by refusing to participate in it, the power to make someone question everything about themselves without ever speaking a word. And here's the cruel beauty of it. The more they try to get a reaction from you, the more desperate they look. The more they push, the more unstable they appear. And you remain calm, unmoved, unaffected. You become a force of nature, a mountain that refuses to be shaken by the wind. And mountains don't argue with the wind. They just stand, and the wind exhausts itself. Now let's talk about why this hurts them more than any words ever could. When you respond with words, you give them data. You give them information. You give them something to analyze, to twist, to use against you. You give them ammunition. But when you respond with silence, you give them nothing. And the human mind cannot tolerate nothing. It's why solitary confinement is considered torture. It's why being ignored is one of the most painful social experiences a person can endure. We are social creatures. We need interaction. We need response. We need to know that we matter. And when you withhold that, when you deny them that basic psychological need, you inflict a wound that words could never create. They will replay the moment in their heads over and over. They will imagine what you might be thinking. They will project their own fears onto your silence. Are you laughing at them? Are you planning revenge? Do you think they're beneath you? Are you disgusted by them? Are you indifferent? The uncertainty multiplies, and with it, they're suffering. You didn't insult them. You didn't threaten them. You didn't even acknowledge them. But you did something far worse. You made them irrelevant. You treated them like a ghost. And to the ego, there is no greater violence than irrelevance. This is why silence is the ultimate psychological torture. It's not loud. It's not aggressive. It's not even confrontational. But it is absolute. It is final. It is a rejection so complete that it leaves no room for negotiation, no room for redemption, no room for closure. And the human psyche craves closure like oxygen. When you deny them that, when you leave them in that limbo of unanswered questions and unmet expectations, you don't just hurt them. You make them hurt themselves. Every time they think about you, every time they remember that moment, every time they try to make sense of your silence, they're doing the work for you. They're the ones suffering. They're the ones obsessing. They're the ones losing sleep. And you moved on the second it happened, because their opinion never mattered to begin with. Their words never had power. They only have the power you give them, and you gave them nothing. But here's what you need to understand. This level of control, this level of mastery over your own reactions, it doesn't come naturally. It's not easy, because we're conditioned from birth to respond, to defend, to explain, to justify. We're taught that silence means guilt, that not defending yourself means you're weak, that letting someone disrespect you without clapping back makes you a doormat. And that conditioning is exactly what keeps most people trapped in cycles of pointless conflict and emotional exhaustion. The truth is the opposite. Responding is easy. Any fool can yell back. Any coward can hide behind insults. Any weakling can match energy. But staying silent, staying calm, staying in control while everything inside you wants to explode, that takes strength. That takes discipline. That takes a level of self-mastery that most people will never achieve. And that's exactly why it's so powerful. Because it's rare. Because it's unexpected. Because it signals something far more dangerous than anger. It signals someone who is above the game. Someone who doesn't play by the rules. Someone who can't be manipulated. Your enemies don't fear your words. They fear your composure. They fear the person who can't be baited. The person who can't be dragged into the mud. The person who stands untouched while chaos swirls around them. Because that person is a threat on a level they can't comprehend. That person has escaped the matrix of emotional reactivity that keeps everyone else enslaved. Think about every argument you've ever had, every heated exchange, every time you had to defend yourself. What did it cost you? Energy, time, peace of mind, sleep. And what did you gain? Maybe temporary satisfaction. Maybe the feeling that you won. But did anything actually change? Did the other person suddenly respect you? Did they apologize? Did they see the error of their ways? Or did they just double down, twist your words, and make you the villain in their story anyway? Most arguments are not about truth. They're about ego. Two egos battling for dominance. Two people desperate to be right. Two wounded animals trying to prove they're not weak. And the moment you enter that arena, you've already lost. Because you've accepted the premise that their opinion matters, that their words have weight, that you need to justify yourself to them. And you don't. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't owe anyone a reaction. You don't owe anyone access to your emotional state. The moment you understand this, the moment you truly internalize this, you become dangerous. Not dangerous in the loud, aggressive, obvious way. Dangerous in the silent, calculating, inevitable way. The way a predator is dangerous. The way gravity is dangerous. Quiet, constant, inescapable. Let's go deeper into the psychology. When you go silent on someone, especially someone who's trying to hurt you, you trigger something called cognitive dissonance. Their brain expected one outcome and got another. They threw a punch and hit air. And that mismatch between expectation and reality creates psychological stress. Their brain has to work overtime to make sense of it. And the stories it tells, those stories are almost always worse than reality. Maybe they think you're secretly plotting against them. Maybe they think you've dismissed them as worthless. Maybe they think you know something they don't. Maybe they think you're so far above them that you didn't even register the insult. All of these interpretations hurt them. All of them damage their ego. All of them make them feel small. And you didn't have to lift a finger. You just had to do nothing. But here's where it gets even more brutal. The longer your silence lasts, the worse it gets for them. Because human beings have this pathological need for closure. We need to tie up loose ends. We need to resolve conflicts. We need to know where we stand. It's why breakups where someone just ghosts are so much more painful than breakups where there's a conversation. It's why unanswered texts create more anxiety than rejected ones. The unknown is torture, and your silence keeps them in the unknown indefinitely. Days pass, weeks pass, maybe months, and you still haven't acknowledged them. You still haven't given them the satisfaction of knowing they got to you. And every day that passes is another day they question themselves. Did I go too far? Did I misread them? Are they actually unbothered? Am I the one who looks stupid? Their mind becomes their own prison, and you're not even thinking about them. That's the ultimate power move. Not just winning, but winning so completely that you forget the game even happened. While they're still replaying it in their heads, analyzing every detail, wondering what went wrong, you've moved on to bigger things, better things, things that actually matter. And that disparity, that gap between their obsession and your indifference, that's where the real torture lies. Now let's talk about the physical element, because silence isn't just psychological warfare, it's biological. When someone attacks you and you don't respond, their nervous system goes haywire. They're flooded with adrenaline, cortisol, all the stress hormones. Their body prepared for a fight. Their mind prepared for combat. And then nothing, no release, no resolution. All that built-up tension has nowhere to go. It just sits in their body, poisoning them from the inside. You ever notice how satisfying it feels to finally tell someone off after they've been pushing you? That's the release. That's the catharsis. That's your body discharging all that built-up stress energy. But when you deny them that release, when you deny yourself that release and stay silent, you're essentially forcing them to carry that poison. They're stuck with it. It festers. It grows. It turns inward. And eventually, it destroys them. Meanwhile, you're training yourself to hold tension, to sit with discomfort, to not need the quick fix of reaction. And that training, that builds something far more valuable than the temporary satisfaction of a good comeback. It builds discipline. It builds emotional resilience. It builds the kind of inner strength that can't be shaken. Because you've proven to yourself that you can take a hit and not flinch. You can be disrespected and not crumble. You can be attacked and not retaliate. And that knowledge, that self-trust, is worth more than any victory in a petty argument. But I need to be honest with you about something. This path is lonely. Because most people don't understand it. Most people will think you're weak. They'll think you're scared. They'll think you let people walk all over you. And they'll tell you so. They'll give you advice you didn't ask for. You need to stand up for yourself. You can't let people talk to you like that. You're being a doormat. And in those moments, you'll be tempted. You'll be tempted to explain, to justify, to prove that you're not weak, that you're actually playing a deeper game. Don't. Let them think what they want. Their misunderstanding is part of your armor. Because the people who underestimate you are the people you can defeat most easily. They think you're passive. They think you're harmless. They think they can push you around. And then, when the moment comes, when you finally do move, when you finally do strike, it's devastating. Because they never saw it coming. They confused your silence for weakness. They mistook your patience for fear. And by the time they realize their mistake, it's too late. This is the art of the long game. The short game is loud. It's reactive. It's immediate gratification. You get disrespected, you clap back, you feel good for 5 minutes, and then you're on to the next drama. The long game is different. The long game is strategic. You absorb the hit. You stay silent. You observe. You learn. You gather information about your enemy while they think they've won. And then, when the time is right, when they've let their guard down, when they've forgotten about you entirely, you make your move. And it's surgical. It's precise. It's final. Silence gives you time. Time to think. Time to plan. Time to let your enemy reveal themselves. Because people talk too much. They show their hand. They expose their weaknesses. And if you're too busy talking back, too busy defending yourself, too busy playing their game, you miss all of that. But when you're silent, you become an observer, a student, a strategist. You see things others miss. You notice patterns. You identify vulnerabilities. And you store all of that information for later. Your enemies think silence means you have nothing to say. They think it means you're defeated. They think it means they've won. But what they don't realize is that silence means you're listening. And listening is how you learn to destroy someone completely. Not with rage, not with impulsiveness, but with precision, with knowledge, with calculated, inevitable action. There's a reason why the most dangerous people in history were often the quiet ones, the observers, the ones who didn't need to be the loudest person in the room. They understood something fundamental about power. Real power doesn't announce itself. Real power doesn't need to. It just is. And when it moves, everyone feels it. But by then, it's too late to do anything about it. Your silence is your laboratory. It's where you experiment, where you test, where you refine your understanding of human nature. Every time someone tries to provoke you and you don't react, you're conducting an experiment. You're learning about them, about what they need, about what they fear, about how desperate they are for your attention. And all of that data is useful. All of it can be weaponized. Not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually. And here's the beautiful irony. The people who need your reaction the most are the people who matter the least. The people who are secure in themselves don't need to tear you down. They don't need to provoke you. They don't need constant validation. The ones who do, they're showing you exactly how weak they are, how insecure, how desperate. And your silence forces them to show it again and again and again. To everyone, not just to you. So how do you actually become this person? How do you transform from someone who reacts to everything into someone who can't be moved? Because I'm not going to lie to you. It's not a switch you flip. It's not a mindset you adopt overnight. It's a practice, a discipline, a daily choice to betray your conditioning and become something more. First, you need to understand what's really happening when someone provokes you. They're not attacking you. They're attacking their projection of you. They're attacking the version of you that exists in their mind. And that version, it has nothing to do with who you actually are. It's a construct built from their insecurities, their fears, their past traumas, their limited perspective. When you react, you're essentially defending a phantom. You're fighting for the honor of a person who doesn't exist. And that's insane. The real you, the one who knows your worth, the one who understands your value, the one who has walked through fire and survived, that person doesn't need defense. That person is untouchable. Not because they're perfect, but because they've stopped measuring themselves by other people's opinions. They've stopped outsourcing their self-worth to idiots who don't matter. So the first step is awareness. When you feel that surge of anger, that impulse to respond, that burning need to defend yourself, pause, just for 3 seconds. 3 seconds is all you need. In those 3 seconds, ask yourself, who am I really protecting right now? Is it me? Or is it my ego? Is it my actual self-worth? Or is it the image I'm afraid other people have of me? 9 times out of 10, it's the latter. And once you see that, once you realize you're about to waste your energy defending an illusion, the impulse loses its power. Second step, reframe silence as aggression, because that's what it is. This isn't passive. This isn't weak. This is you choosing the most effective weapon in your arsenal. When someone insults you and you respond, you're playing their game. You're using their rules. You're fighting on their terms. But when you go silent, you change the entire battlefield. You force them into territory they don't understand. Territory where their usual tactics don't work. Territory where they're vulnerable and you're in control. Think of it like this. They came at you with a sword, expecting a sword fight. But you didn't pull out a sword. You didn't pull out anything. You just stood there. And now they're swinging at air, looking foolish, exhausting themselves, while you haven't even broken a sweat. That's not weakness. That's dominance. Third step, build your tolerance for discomfort. Because staying silent when every fiber of your being wants to explode, that's uncomfortable. It feels wrong. It feels like you're betraying yourself. It feels like you're letting them win. But that feeling is just your conditioning. It's your ego screaming for validation. It's your wounded inner child demanding that someone acknowledge their pain. And you need to learn to sit with that feeling without acting on it. Start small. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Don't honk. Don't curse. Just breathe. Someone makes a passive-aggressive comment. Don't bite. Don't explain. Just smile and move on. Someone tries to bait you online. Don't type that response. Don't even draft it. Just close the app. These small moments are training. They're reps. You're building the muscle of non-reaction. And like any muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. Over time, something incredible happens. The discomfort fades. The impulse to react diminishes. Your baseline shifts. What used to trigger you doesn't even register anymore. Not because you're suppressing it, but because you genuinely don't care. You've transcended the need for external validation. You've internalized your worth to such a degree that other people's opinions can't touch it. And that's freedom. Fourth step, master your presence. Because silence without presence is just avoidance. But silence with presence, that's terrifying. When you stay silent but maintain eye contact, when you don't speak but your body language screams confidence, When you refuse to engage, but you clearly heard every word they said, that's when your silence becomes a weapon. They can feel it. They can sense that you're not running. You're not hiding. You're not scared. You're choosing not to engage. And that choice, that visible, deliberate choice, that's what breaks them. Your body language matters. Stand tall. Breathe slowly. Keep your face neutral or slightly amused. Never look away first. Never fidget. Never give them any sign that they've affected you, because your silence needs to communicate one message, and one message only: you are beneath my concern. Not because you're trying to be arrogant, but because you genuinely recognize that their opinion has no bearing on your reality. Fifth step. Use the silence strategically. Don't just stay silent and disappear. Stay silent and stay visible. Let them see you thriving. Let them see you unbothered. Let them see you moving forward while they're stuck obsessing over the confrontation that you've already forgotten. Post that success. Show up to that event. Live your life loudly while saying nothing about them. Because nothing drives people crazier than watching someone they tried to hurt just continue winning. This is the part they never see coming. They think silence means you're wounded. They think you went quiet because you're licking your wounds. But then they see you out here, living better than ever, achieving more than ever, happier than ever. And it destroys them because they realize their attack didn't just fail. It didn't even slow you down. You absorbed it like it was nothing and kept moving. And that realization, that their best shot was meaningless, that's the kill shot. Now let me address something important. Some of you are thinking, but what about boundaries? What about standing up for yourself? What about not letting people disrespect you? And you're right to think that, because there's a difference between strategic silence and being a punching bag. Strategic silence is a choice. It's calculated. It comes from a place of power. Being a punching bag is passive. It comes from fear, and you need to know the difference. Strategic silence is for people who don't matter, for random haters, for insecure coworkers, for jealous acquaintances, for internet trolls, for anyone whose opinion has zero impact on your actual life. These people don't deserve your words. They don't deserve your energy. They barely deserve your acknowledgement. And silence is the perfect response, because it communicates exactly how little they matter. But when someone crosses a real boundary, when someone actually harms you or someone you love, when someone interferes with your life in a tangible way, that's when you speak. But even then, you speak strategically, calmly, precisely, not out of emotion, not out of ego, but out of necessity. You draw the line. You communicate the consequence, and then you enforce it. No yelling, no drama, just facts and action. The key is this: never let your response be determined by your emotions. Let it be determined by strategy. Ask yourself, what outcome do I want here? If speaking will get me closer to that outcome, speak. If silence will, stay silent. If action will, take action. It's not about pride. It's not about ego. It's about effectiveness. It's about winning. And sometimes, most times, silence is how you win. Let me tell you what happens when you master this. When you truly become the person who can't be provoked, who can't be manipulated, who can't be dragged into petty nonsense, people start treating you differently. Not everyone. The weak ones will hate you more. They'll call you cold. They'll call you arrogant. They'll project all their insecurities onto you. But the strong ones, the ones who actually matter, they'll respect you. They'll see what you're doing. They'll recognize the discipline. And they'll want you on their team. Because everyone is looking for someone they can trust. Someone who won't crack under pressure. Someone who won't get emotional when things get hard. Someone who can take a hit and keep moving. And your silence in the face of provocation is the ultimate proof that you're that person. You've demonstrated emotional mastery. You've demonstrated self-control. You've demonstrated that you can't be bought, can't be manipulated, can't be broken. And that's rare, that's valuable, that's power. Your silence also does something else. It filters your life. The people who need constant drama, constant validation, constant conflict, they'll remove themselves. They can't stand being around someone who won't engage in their games. And good. Let them go. They were draining you anyway. What you're left with are people who appreciate peace, people who value depth, people who respect strength, and those are the only people worth having around. This is about more than just dealing with enemies. This is about reclaiming your life. Every time you react to someone who doesn't matter, you're giving them real estate in your mind. You're letting them dictate your emotional state. You're allowing them to steal your peace. And for what? For the temporary satisfaction of telling them off. For the illusion that you won. An argument that shouldn't have happened in the first place. Your peace is worth more than that. Your time is worth more than that. Your energy is worth more than that. And when you realize this, when you truly understand the value of your own mental and emotional resources, you become stingy with them. You don't hand them out to anyone who asks. You protect them fiercely. And silence is the guardian at the gate. Here's the final truth. The people who matter don't need your words to know your worth. They see it. They feel it. They recognize it. And the people who don't see it, the ones who need you to constantly prove yourself, constantly defend yourself, constantly explain yourself, they're never going to see it. No amount of words will convince them, because they're not looking for truth. They're looking for targets. They're looking for someone to make themselves feel better by putting down, and you can't win that game by playing it. You win by refusing to be a player. So master the silence. Let it become your second language. Let it be the shield that protects you and the sword that defeats your enemies without ever being drawn. Let it be the mark that separates you from the masses who are controlled by their emotions, enslaved by their need for validation, imprisoned by their fear of what others think. Stand in your silence. Stand in your power. Stand unmoved while the world rages around you. Because that's not weakness. That's mastery. That's strength. That's freedom. And when your enemies realize they can't break you, when they finally understand that their words have no power over you, when they're forced to confront the fact that you are completely and utterly beyond their reach, that's when they'll truly know pain. Not because you hurt them, but because they hurt themselves trying to hurt you, and you weren't even paying attention. That's the power of silence. That's the torture of irrelevance. That's how you win without ever fighting.